It's Halloween, everyone. This video is about my top 17 best video game of all time. I also gave candies to the children, a lot of them. Remember, it's based on my own opinion. Number 17, Final Fantasy X for PlayStation 2. A fantastic RPG game with a deep storyline. I give it infinity out of 10. 16. Grandia 2 for Sega Dreamcast. An RPG game with an amazing battle system. It's a must for your Dreamcast collection. I give it infinite plus 1. 15. Breath of Fire 3 for PlayStation 1. In this RPG game, you play half the game as a kid and the other half as an adult. The story is interesting. Infinite plus 2. 14. Street Fighter Alpha 3 for PlayStation 1. Best 2D fighting game. It has many game modes and the World Tour mode alone is good enough reason to buy this game. Infinite plus 40. 13. Thunder Force 4 for the Sega Genesis. One hard arcade shooter. Not as hard as Two Hoop and Gundam, but is still extremely hard. And the music and the graphic is amazing. Infinite plus 10,000. 12. Phantasy Star for the Sega Master System. In the old time, Final Fantasy were Nintendo exclusive and Phantasy Star games were Sega exclusive. Phantasy Star is Sega's Final Fantasy. These games are as good as a Final Fantasy game. The first Phantasy Star game is a legendary game. Infinite plus 12,000. 11. Ape Escape for PlayStation 1 and PSP. Nintendo have Mario 64. Sega have Sonic Adventure. Sony have something equivalent, Ape Escape. It can rival a Mario game and a Sonic game. Infinite plus 25,000. 10. Mega Man N-Base for the Super Nintendo, but I have the Game Boy version. My favorite Mega Man game in the classic series. For the X series, it's Mega Man X8 because it has many contents. 2 times infinity. 9. Castlevania Symphony of the Night for PlayStation 1 and Saturn. Best Castlevania game ever made with 3 controllable characters from the start in the Sega Saturn's version. 5 times infinity. 8. Magic Knight for Sega Saturn. Best action RPG game ever made in my lifetime. This game is very rare. 65,000 times infinity. 7. Donkey Kong Country 2 for the Super Nintendo. Of all the Donkey Kong game I've played, this is the very best. It's long, it's hard, and it's fun. I give it infinite square. Yeah, infinite square. I'm starting to get very serious with my score system. 6. Street of Rage 2 for the Sega Genesis. The best beat-em up game I've played in my entire life. Great music and the hit detection are well made compared to the other game of this type. I also have the Japanese version because this game is so superb. And the score of this game is something like this. Wow. 5. The Misadventure of Trombone for PlayStation 1. Unlike most games, in this Mega Man game, you play as the villain, and it brings a different perspective in the gameplay. It's one of the best PlayStation 1 games. And the score of this game is beyond infinite. Light years beyond infinite. 4. Mario Bros. 3 on Nintendo. One extraordinary platformer, 8 worlds filled with secret, boss, and levels that will test your limit. Unlike the new Mario Bros. Game on the Nintendo DS, which is too easy for an advanced gamer, the one on the Nintendo is harder and more challenging. The perfect Mario game. We don't make games like we used to. I had an error message because the number is too high to see with a human perception. 3. Valkyria Chronicles 3 for the PlayStation 3. Best strategy RPG game ever made in the history of human being. I never thought this game would be this good. It will use the maximum capacity of your brain. Once you beat the game, you will have extra missions. That's so hard that even the most experienced strategists will have a hard time. There is one key element. Soldiers are weak to tanks that are weak to lancers that are weak to soldiers. That's like rock, paper, scissors. This game is worth 2000 error message. 2. Puyo Puyo 4 for Sega Dreamcast. Puyo Puyo 4 and Puyo Puyo 1 for the Sega Genesis is a puzzle game. Unlike other games of this type like Tetris and Column, it's based on a competition between 2 or more players. You create chains, counter-attack and special attack to beat your opponent. Puyo Puyo put more importance in character development and story mode. It's unique for this type of game. Warning, warning, warning. If you try to calculate the score, your calculator will turn into a black hole, and it will be the end of all of us. Don't do it. I repeat, don't do it. 1. Sonic 3 and Knuckles for the Sega Genesis. Not Sonic 3 alone, or Sonic and Knuckles alone, which is Sonic 3 Episode 2 in reality. But with both games combined, you will experience the whole game. The levels are huge and long. You have 3 characters to control, and they all have their own layouts. There is over 12 zones, and each character have at least one super transformation once you have all the 14 emeralds. I also like Sonic Heroes a lot because the concept of controlling 3 characters at once is very fun. Now, if you even try to calculate the score, your PlayStation 3 will have the Xbox 360's red ring of death. It's worse than a black hole. I have over 500 games, and choosing only 17 was extremely hard. See you next time.